Okay. Here we go, go, go. On an adventure. Thingamajig is up and away. Is it? Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm so used to having a delay on my phone that when I listen to it on the computer, and there's no being delay, it's super weird. Okay. Oh, I need to post announcement. Hey folks, we're going to be playing Shifting Fates in just a moment. Come on by the stream and watch as Arthur probably is a weird dad NPC and Ellie is happy. Maybe. There we go.
Okay. I mean,
your happiness will depend upon your happiness. Yep. Alright.
It's not my
Hello
fault,
and welcome, dear patrons, to Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. I am your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and today we shall be continuing the tale of Shifting Fates. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. Alright. So last we left off, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the party was heading into Miasi. I believe Averin was talking to a really old... Was he a gnome?
Yes.
Yeah, a really old gnome, whose name possibly was Speedy Micklefast. No one really knows what his name was, though, because no one asked. Was that Ruby? I don't think that was Ruby. Was that Ruby?
I don't know.
Well, that might be Ruby.
I'm not in there.
I think that's Ruby. Do you want to come check on Ruby real quick? I don't know if that's Ruby. I am very loud. I think that's Ruby.
No, she's fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm hearing imaginary babies. Oh, no, there's a Ruby. I am not hearing imaginary babies. Anyways, sorry. You guys entered the area of oh my god, I've forgotten the name of this place now. Equinox. That's what. That's not what its name is. Mercy. Thank you.
I kept telling you to prepare for this session, honey bun.
I did prepare for this session. I have it all in my head. I just forget names.
Session, my man. Did you really prepare?
Yes.
Press X to doubt.
I have many preparations pulled up for this thing. I just forget names. A lot of names. I don't do anything other than mentally prepare. I don't have a whole lot not to mentally prepare. But I have had work. Anyway, so you guys entered Miasi. You guys talked with Mr. Speedy Micklefast, who has a very fun name. Oliver talked with the Iron Belly was his name as a dwarf. I don't remember what Bill was doing. Bill, were you here last episode? Or was that the one that you were on the trip for? I think that was one you were on the trip for, yeah?
He wasn't here last episode.
Okay. So Bill's doing something or another. I don't remember what I was having Bill do. Bill, what do you want your character to do?
I don't know where we are. You guys haven't told me anything yet.
Oh. Alright, you've never been to Miasi.
Run through a synopsis of what happened the last session.
That's a fair point. So last session... I'm trying to remember what happened last session. I've been working a lot this week. I've made a lot of... What? Don't you come at me.
I'm going to use your microphone because Aurora has my computer.
Okay.
So last episode... Oh my gosh, it's echoing in my ears. Last episode is after we did the museum heist and we all met up trying to decide what to do next. Whether that was to go to Cataclysm or not. Also, we got permission to go basically anywhere and have any assistance needed from the Prince of Circadia.
So I'm not the only one who forgets names. Yeah, y'all got permission from the prince that you can essentially go wherever you want inside of Circadia, and he's more than happy to help. And if there's anything he can do for you guys, now that Bill has become his best buddy friendo, and really the only person he probably considers a friend, you guys weren't really sure. You guys got a very sinking feeling that he's very lonely. He gave her 10 platinum. He gave her 100 gold. He also gave Averin 100 gold because she asked him to fuel her business opportunities. He's probably not very...
10 platinum. It was 10 platinum.
Yeah, 10 platinum's 100 gold.
Oh.
Chicky was saying that he gave you 100 platinum, which was
Oh no.
a little bit of a difference there. But yeah, he said basically you can go anywhere you wish if you decide to. Within Circadia, he'll help you with anything that he can, with the exception of the war, mostly because he does not want his people to get mass murdered by the war. And he has absolutely no faith in your guys' ability to stop the war, because you're 4 people trying to stop a multi-hundred-year war. So yeah, he has no faith. Maybe. That's right. Oh yeah, right. So you guys decide to walk all the way over to Miersi. Because essentially you guys have decided that you obviously want to get to the orcs up here. And when you get there, you want to essentially dismantle their entire fight as you have the elves. But in order to get there, you guys essentially are going to go roundabout that way, go through Circadia, and then go meet the dwarves. I don't remember exactly why y'all want to meet the dwarves. I feel like y'all had a particularly good reason to meet them. I don't remember what y'all's reason were to meet them, though. Does anyone remember y'all's reason? Averin?
Oh no.
Ellie's just like, nope.
Oh gosh.
Oh, no, it was, Averin, it was tied to your character. You found out that possibly your father, who abandoned you, I guess, was inside of the traveling band of bards. And last you guys met them, they were inside of the dwarven, well, not met, but last time you heard about them, they were going to go into the dwarven city inside of the mountains to the north, just above the, Trail of Bloody Tears. And so you wanted to make sure to try to find him, essentially, to see if that was in fact your father, or if it wasn't. And also, it's a good way to get to the orcs, because as you guys were walking to Miersi, you guys, specifically Ellie and Oliver, or not Ellie, specifically Averin and Oliver, because Ellie was looking down at the time, and Bill is Bill, saw in the distance, directly above the Trail of Bloody Tears, a massive avian, probably several hundred feet wingspan, based on what Oliver could tell from its general body shape, wingspan, and what he could tell from it. It was above the clouds, but there was a lot of lightning storms slamming down near the Trail of Bloody Tears, and so, yeah. That's kind of what you guys saw as you were walking towards Helios, but Miersi. And you guys got to Miersi, which is a neutral town, which you guys, specifically Oliver and Ellie, and she will have told you this as you guys were walking, they saved from an evil cult. That cult was attempting to turn pretty much the entire town into a balanced town, air quote balanced, where there is one male, one female, basically a father and a mother, and 2 children, one male, one female, and it was under the goddess's powers, so they didn't have any minds to their own, they didn't have any of their own self-will or anything of that sort. They saved the town, murdered the goddess, which you guys have been referring to fairly often the last probably week that y'all have known each other. Murdered the goddess with the help of Ezekiel, saved the town, and now it's currently under government of Arthur, a friendly fighter, as well as Jackson, Ellie's best friend from childhood, and also love interest. And so now y'all have arrived at the city, or not city, the small town of Miercy. Arthur, you guys didn't know where it was. The group split up. Averin immediately went into a bookstore and met a old gnome named Speedy McGofast, who was in fact the opposite of his name, and the whole interaction probably took around half an hour for her to walk around a very small store with this poor fellow. And Oliver, you went to the tavern to see if you could help anyone, and you met a dwarf named Ironbelly, who started talking to you about various dwarven customs and the best way to appease the dwarves when you go up into there. He's also going to tell you a little bit more, but we'll get to that in just a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure when we left off, you said that you were going to be moving on to Ellie's thing, considering she was telling me that we didn't actually...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're probably going to come
Sunday.
back. We're going to come back to you, is what I mean, for that. But, Bill, since you weren't here, is there anything you'd like your character to do as the party just kind of splits off and ditches you?
I have been left to my own devices. I want to find trouble.
Oh, no.
Oh, please no.
And
I
I-
don't want
Oh.
you ringed by Arthur.
And I want to meet a guy named Clef.
Clef?
Think about the words I just used.
Oh. Oh. Oh, I
That
hate
is
you.
horrible.
Oh, that was... Oh, I hate you so much.
But he
You did
honestly
it.
deserves it.
Oh, that hit me back in my fucking associate's days. Oh my god, that... Oh.
You just got hit by music fun.
Oh, that hit me back years, man. My body ain't young enough for this shit. Anyways, you know what? Roll me a d20. I want to see what,
Some would say that was a critical hit, but I think he's C flat.
that was a sharp wound. 15. All right. So are you?
Sorry that I'm just the base of all your problems.
But,
Gonna hurt you. So
No, we gotta work in harmony.
God. I'm a solo act, thank you. So
Excuse you?
just like Bill is. So you're walking around at the
Okay.
moment. You walk into the town, slightly different from last time Ellie was here, but for you, whole new experience. As you walk into this lovely town, which actually I think I have a picture for, which I probably do. Yes. Boop. There you go. The town, as you guys walk into it, is essentially small walls that lead into the town. The walls that were around the town have been removed, but the houses are kind of set up in a small circular fashion, all kind of facing the main plaza. A couple more buildings are currently being in production as we speak. There's a couple of ones that you can see. There is a tavern that Oliver has just walked directly towards. Ellie seems to have walked in a general direction of sorts. Averin walked into what looks to be a bookstore. It has a sign that's just a weird a picture of a book that's loosely hanging onto the front of the store. There's a general market. Two of them actually. One's selling produce and the other one is selling small forms of fish because there's a small river nearby. And then there's also a flower shop that's selling quite a few different types of flowers, ingredients, and random other bits and pieces. Is there anywhere in particular you want to walk towards, or do you just want to wander a little bit?
Is there a bread shop?
Is there a bread shop? I would probably say yes, because this is actually
walk
incredibly
towards-
good farming soil.
I walk towards the bread shop.
You know what? Fair enough. So you walk towards the bread shop, and inside you see there is what looks to be a really sweet couple. One looks to be a half-elf, the other one looks to be probably a dwarf. We'll go with a dwarf. So it's a kind of odd height difference. The dwarf actually appears to be standing on something as he's leaning over the counter as you walk inside this building. It smells fucking heavenly. There is bread of all shapes and sizes. Any various kind of bread that you can think of is more or less being made here. Anything that involves bread-based dough is also produced here. I imagine you can also make donuts with a very similar combination of ingredients. And so there's some donuts in here. There's a couple of different pastries, not super fancy pastries, but very, very fancy bread. I mean, some of these breads, they're fancy. And the dwarven man looks over to you as you walk in. He says, "Why, hello there. I am bread maker."
The fairy of bread.
What?
I am the fairy of bread. I'm rolling a deception.
Okay. Roll me that perception. Fucking Christ. Oh my god. Okay. Shep is called Do-Re-Mi. I hate you so much more. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. So, yeah, you know what? Yeah, the dwarf is called Ray. Ray the bread maker. And so Ray looks at you, he's like, "You're..." Oh. And you see his eyes start to widen as he stares at you, proudly proclaiming that you are the bread fairy. His eyes start to go wide. He simply takes one moment to place his hands on the desk with a shaky hand on desk, and he simply calls out, "Honey, we've been blessed by the fairy. Fairies, come on by." You see his wife comes in. May walks in. She looks at you. She goes, That's a bird, honey."
No. I am the bread fairy.
"He's the bread fairy, honey. He's the bread fairy."
Oh no!
She legitimately has to take a moment as she kind of looks at you. She looks at her husband, who has the fucking eyes of a star-spangled child. And she goes, "No." And he goes, "Yes." And she goes, "No." And he goes, "Yes." And she goes, "No." She goes, "Yes." She goes, "Not the bread fairy. The mythical legends are true."
Yes! And I require your finest bread.
She looks at you for a moment. She goes, "I've only heard about you in stories." And you legitimately see her start to cry. Like tears falling down her face. And she goes, "I never thought you'd be us. But we have prepared very special bread for you, Mr. Bread Fairy. We've read about you in books. We've read about you since our childhoods. We started this shop so that one day we'd be blessed by your presence, Mr. Bread Fairy. We have something very important for you." She walks into the back, and the dwarf says, "All right, Bread Fairy, my wife can't cook. I'm the one who cooks. She made you a very special kind of bread. But I'm sorry if it's not too like I can make you another bread, but she's made you a very specific bread, as specifically for a fairy, bread fairy. And hope you don't mind it. She loves you."
Bread is bread, my friend.
See her come in.
If I denied bread, what kind of bread fairy would I be?
See tears start to fall down his face. "We have truly been blessed by the bread fairy." You see the woman come in, and she has a plate in her hands, and on the plate it looks kind of like a bread, Except you can tell from even looking at it, this thing would make stone proud. This is quite possibly the hardest piece of bread you may have ever seen in your life. And she places it down on the desk, or the counter, and she says, I made this bread for you back when I was a wee child, when I first heard the story of the bread fairy. Now, it's a little bit old. You could hear it clatter against the bread as she against the plate as she put it down. Yeah, that bread is stale. But I made it with my heart and soul and love. Here you go. She hands it to you.
Bill takes it and holds it above his head. Your sacrifice has been accepted.
Dwarf reaches over and grabs the little basket of bread. That's like probably like 20 loaves in it. He places down in front of you. And also this. Take this too. Bread fairy needs good bread to live. Yeah, there you go.
Just take the basket. Your shop will be blessed with good dough this year.
That's all we can hope for. That's all we can hope for.
Out the door. He now has free food for like a week.
You can hear as he closes the door. Them just fucking dancing and laughing and cheering, like the just happiest noises you've ever heard in your life are going through the doors behind you. Cheers, happiness, tears, everything you can, just happiness galore behind you as you step out into the bright sun.
Alright, that's what Bill's been up to.
Alright, cool. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Well, Bill being chaotic good, but basically stealing a basket and a weapon of bread.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you could kill buildings with that bread.
Good.
I'll stat at some point. Alright. So now that Bill has finished his bread venture, Ellie, you are wandering us in a direction. Where are you wandering to?
Oh, it's my turn? I didn't know it was going to be my turn.
Well, this one is
I thought you were
probably going to be
gonna-
longer.
You know, skip over me again.
Why would I skip? I would not skip over you. Bill wasn't
And
here
have
last
something else
episode, so
happen.
we got bring in Bill into the
No,
fold.
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I could skip you if you want me to. You want me to skip? I
No.
could. You sure? I
No.
could. I could
I mean, they
remove
did that to
Jackson.
me. Honey. Friendly reminder, you live with me. You'll have to deal with me after this session.
Well, you know. Anyway, so where are you wandering to?
I'm going to... Thank you, Aurora.
Hmm.
I'm going to go just gut instinct, try to find either Arthur or Jackson. Just
Alright. Roll me a survival.
try to find either of them.
Do. Give me that sweet survival check. That's a 12. So you start wandering around a little bit. The first thing that really speaks to your gut is ask a random person. Be like, hey, yo, where's Arthur? Fairly certain
definitely
people
changed
know
a bit.
Arthur. Yeah, definitely changed. So you walk up to a random person, ask them where they are. They kind of point you towards the woods, and they're like, well, my dear, because it's a slightly older person. They went somewhere over those lines. They tend to do that as of late. I think they might be training, because I hear someone, getting his ass whooped
no.
every now and again, but,
Oh,
It's
Ellie's
pretty
going to
entertaining,
bolt
to be
after
fair.
that sentence.
No.
No.
you-
Ellie's gone.
Dude,
Ellie's gone.
don't want,
She's
don't, no.
absolutely flying in that direction.
Old lady's just like, huh, she didn't want to stay for tea. She sounds just like that Jackson boy. Anyway, so you start rushing off in that direction. You get all the way to a tree line, and you do in fact hear someone having a can of whoop ass opened on their ass. I'm assuming you're just sprinting straight for it.
Yep.
Alright, roll me a dexterity save. Damn. Alright. You managed to stop just a moment before plunging yourself face first off of a small ledge directly into a lake. You managed to stop yourself, jump, and you actually managed to bypass pretty much the entire small lake area stream that you just were about to faceplant into. And as you land on solid ground, mostly, you look up and you see, Arthur's beating the ever-living shit out of Jackson with a wooden sword and laughing his ass off. And they're in the middle of a much larger portion of the river. And Jackson is desperately attempting to find any kind of footing to try, desperately, to get at least one of his actual knives to stab Arthur, and failing horribly. Arthur looks up as Jackson once again tries to rush at him with both his weapons, and he just kind of deflects them absent-mindedly as he looks at you. Oh, hi! Wait, that's not the right voice. Why, hello there, Ellie! It's good to see you. Keep your footing, young man. We're in a river. You have to go with the flow, not against the... And your face down. Have I taught you nothing? Up, up, up. Anyways, Ellie, how you doing? And just fucking backhands Jackson as Jackson stands back up.
Ellie is going to summon her deer to ram him.
I love that, huh? Let me...
The first thing to see her man being beat up.
He's not even doing it hard either. He's just like beating the shit out of him absent-mindedly. Gold though. Okay. So may attack and creature. Okay, so it just straight up does 2d8 damage to him. So cool. Roll me 2d8. Do 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 do. Just gotta click the D8 twice. There you go. Ouch. So you see it just kind of appear on the lake. And by on the lake, I mean it literally appears and freezes where its feet stand. Before it just absolutely flattens Arthur. Just slams him into the water hard. I mean, like, his head bounces off of the small rocks inside of the water before he, like, pops up. And you can clearly see ice frosting over his small beard, and pretty nasty blood just kind of gushing from the back of his head as he looks up and he's like, "Whoo! That was a nice trick. I should have been expecting that. Impressively done, Eleonora. See, you could learn a thing or two from her, Jackson." Jackson just kind of is standing wobbly. You see a lot of bruises on him, but nothing like major or serious. Is he like wobbly? He kind of like steps out of the stream, sits down. He's like, "Ow! Ow!"
You know, Arthur, you probably shouldn't beat him up that much. If you're really bored, you need to find someone more your own size or skill set.
Arthur's just like, he's a rogue. If he encounters someone who's bigger and much stronger than he is, how's he gonna handle him?
That's when I suddenly appear.
I mean, we've been doing this for like, he looks at his arm, 4 days now?
I've been gone for like
4 days.
almost a week and a half. It's been more than 4 days.
Oh yeah, week and a half. He's like, yeah, we've been doing other trainings while you've been gone. I hadn't lift hay bales, I've had him fix up the walls and the houses and stuff. This is our combat training. We don't do this very often. Mostly because he's real good at sneaking. Not so good at the whole actually fighting part.
Well, yeah, I could have told you that.
You don't need to be good at fighting to stab someone in the back, Jackson replies. Arthur's just like,
Emotionally or physically?
both. Arthur's just like, well, duh. That's why you have to get into face-to-face combat with them and then attack them straight on.
Anyway, seems like you guys have been having fun. The town looks great.
Oh yeah, it's been great fun. What? Why are you back here, Ellie? I thought you were off on your adventure to save the Citadel. And I'm very happy you haven't used my sending message yet. That means you have not been in serious trouble. Probably.
Well, you know, I can handle it. I don't need you to step in and risk your life.
Well, he kind of like walks over to you, again, just absolutely drenched. I mean, he's wearing probably like a small cloth, like tank top almost, and like trousers, completely soaked. And he like walks over to you, wraps his arm around you, and picks you straight up off the ground with no strength. He's like, I can always be there to help if I need to. Oh, you're wiggling. Sorry. And he like puts you down. Sorry. Some people don't like that.
No, I love hugs. I'm just soaked.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot I was in the water for a second there.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, we did our best at the Citadel. Our doctor now has to play dead and not return to the Citadel.
That sounds very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, my, I guess, dad of sorts, was planning on killing everyone in the swamps with a disease he's likely helping with. And so, we kind of had to get out of there and fake his death. So we ended up at Circadia, thanks to Mrs. Claus.
You met a Mrs. Claus? Did she have big claws?
Yeah. She did not. She was gigantic, though. Like, 3 times your size.
3 times my size? Impressive. Arm wrestling her would be a battle of the ages.
She makes amazing cookies.
Oh, I like cookies.
Ellie's gonna hand him a cookie.
He grabs the cookie and it's actually decently sized in his hand. Just kind of like starts nibbling on it. Yeah, there's that mimic taste. It's a real taste they have to get really accustomed to, but after a long time, he like takes a whole bite of it. You really miss the taste of it.
But, yeah, it was entertaining. My sister had to stay at the Citadel to train people. But we've gained a couple group members, lost a few group members. Now we're down to the doctor, me. We have a Kenku that's named Bill. He's quite the wanderer. And yeah, you'll find him quite interesting. And then we have another half-elf that just barely joined our team. And she is interesting. She's a rogue that works with Tommy. Or at least has a debt to Tommy. Which, speaking of debts, Ellie's gonna turn to Jackson. You didn't tell me how high your debt was.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know.
I do know because I paid it off.
It's fine.
Completely.
Oh, wait, you did? Seriously?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
He likes you again.
That's not really that good of a thing sometimes, you know? I don't know if you noticed that, but he's kind of, rough around the edges, shall we say?
Yeah. got to work with him for a few days.
How many people
He
did you
refused
kill?
to tell me what all. Huh?
How many people did you kill?
None.
Oh.
Why?
Well, when you say you worked for him, that, you know, my brain just kind of
With him in the
assumed.
bar.
Okay, yeah. Now, ignore my question then.
I was going to say he refused to tell me what all you did because I was part of the resistance.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you actually joined the resistance?
Yes.
Oh. Cool. Good job.
And I met Marigold.
wasn't really expecting you to actually do that.
Some faith you have in me.
Yeah, you know,
Were you
I'm really not expecting you to.
Like you do?
You know, I'm just not expecting you to do the whole actually, you know, demolishing the entire war thing, you know, you were talking about. I was kind of assuming you would go there and then come back and then be like, yeah, no, I'm good. That's a bit,
I mean,
it's a bit rough, hard, difficult, you know?
if I could do that, I would, but that seems selfish of me.
Yeah.
I would give anything to be able to just stay here, but the war's not over yet. After this point, we have to go to Cataclysm to convince the orcs not to fight.
Wow. Arthur kind of like smiles at you as he like puts one hand on your shoulder and he's like, "You are doing a good thing." I think.
Hopefully. I know a lot of people won't see it that way, but
Of course they won't. Doing a good thing does not mean that someone will see it as a good thing. It means that, you know, he like taps his chest, in your heart, that is true and good and what you should do, and it makes people better. That which removes death from this life, to your best ability possible, is necessary in most cases. But the natural order of things should not be disrupted, of course. Necromancers are, well, they're a nasty breed. But that's not... in order to fight against the natural cause of things, you either have to resurrect creatures, or you have to kill them long before their time is due. War does just that. So you're doing a wonderful thing, Ellie. You are stopping something which needs to be stopped. Of course, I can come along if you'd like. I've been told
I want you to stay alive.
He kind of like looks at the surroundings. You think I would die?
I don't know how gruesome this war is going to be.
He gently pats your head. I'm so glad that you think I can't do it. No, you're so cute.
I mean, you did just have a deer ram into you. It caused quite the damage to you.
I'm alive. I've had worse. Have you ever had something spit acid on your shoulders?
No.
It's not pleasant. That's how I got these scars. And he kind of like moves his collarbone shirt piece down a little bit, and you can just see massive scarring along his shoulders, all across his neck, and then to his other shoulder. Killed an Anklang queen.
I was gonna show him her scar, and he's like, look, it's all healed.
Hey, good job. I was wondering if you were going to be able to take care of that properly with the group you were in.
Well, it took some time. It was mostly eating a bunch of fruitcakes.
Huh.
That Micah gave me.
I have to do that.
I have a new friend.
You see Micah just behind her, exceptionally awkward. Just like kind of standing there, kind of like looking around. As you say new friend, he like looks at you and then promptly looks away at like a tree. He's like, yep. Yep.
This is Micah, my little kobold that we saved from a little Christmas area.
I'm doing
He's
good.
a little awkward.
Yeah.
He's not used to this world.
Well, Micah, is good to meet you. Don't worry, of course. I know all things that heal remedies of socially awkward people. He grabs Jackson and yeets him into the river. Sometimes it just requires them to fly. You see Jackson like very startled by being in the air suddenly as he's now yelling and slams into the river. He's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Stop doing that, old man.
This feels like karma for all the times you just up and left.
You don't bring that back every time we talk to each other?
No, you know.
Alright.
I haven't heard, I'm sorry, or hey, it's nice to meet you, or you're alive.
Don't worry, Ellie. I believe I can fix that. He grabs you by your shirt and yeets you into the river. You slam bodily with Jackson and tumble through the river for a second before you both pop. He was like, ah! Ah! Ah!
That's not what I meant.
Okay, I'm sorry. And Arthur's just like, see, I told you. Fixes it every time.
Ah, yes, rolling around in a river is definitely a help.
Yeah, you feel better now, don't you?
Sure, yeah.
Near-death experiences always make you feel better in the end. Right, well, the two of you now need to get dried up, so let's head on to the tavern. We'll get some alcohol. Are you old enough for alcohol?
Really, Arthur?
Jackson gives you like a deadpan look, just like, really? Really?
Oh, I guess you're a cradle robber, Jackson, and Ellie's gonna push him over into the river and run.
You see him like pop his head back out of the river and look at you. He's like, I'm coming for you! And he immediately starts running towards you. Jackson and Arthur just starts laughing. He's like, well, that answers my question. And they start heading on back into town. Averin, you probably come out of the bookstore around the same time that Bill comes out of his bread shop. And you see Bill very happily with bread. And what looks, even from like a good 30-foot distance that you're at from him at the moment, a very, very hard piece of bread in one of his talons. And you also hear joyous noises coming from the area behind him. Well, it sounds possibly like sobbing and screaming of, yes, we have met the bread fairy, which you can hear even at this distance.
Aaron just looks at this like, he's done it again.
She wholeheartedly believes Bill is a god. Bill, you just see Averin looking at you with what may be astonishment, possibly pride, and just pure amazement.
Just pop a piece of bread in my mouth. I stare Averin directly in the eyes, and I slowly take a piece of bread out, and I start munching on it. Shop. I got free bed by making people happy.
Ever nods approvingly. I completely understand.
Within a few moments of you sagely nodding at his amazing words and him munching on some bread, you feel a streak of air just rush past you as Ellie snaps on right past you both, and immediately follows by the wind slapping some water into your face, before a second figure runs right past you, right directly behind her, and more wind slaps some water into both of your faces.
So, do I need to do a dex save to slip on stuff?
You're running on dirt, so yeah,
Fair.
let's do a dex save. Let's do a
Dirt
dex
and
save.
rocks and such?
Yeah, there's a lot. I have slipped on dirt before, so Jackson's fine. And you're also fine.
Okay, we're good. Anyway.
Yeah, just absolutely rushing past the two of you. Just wet air just slaps both of you in the face before you see Arthur just coming across, coming into town and laughing his ass off as he's, deep, hearty laughs. He's also 6'7", so he is towering above both of you, especially to Bill, as he's just kind of walking to town, this massive giant. Kids.
Everyone like dusts off her coat and stuff, and like the water. She's like, God, no one understands how long like what I had to do to get these clothes.
Bill
Then
just
everyone like looks around.
bread, just munching away.
He slowly approaches the two of you and says, you two are new to the town. Are you with Ellie, or are you just passerbys?
We're with Ellie. And you
I
are?
was kidnapped by a lady with a big pan, yes.
That's quite suiting given what I've heard from her. Well, nice to meet you. My name is Arthur Skyweaver. I am currently the one who is running this town to the best of my ability, taking over for the previous ruler of this town, which was in fact a goddess. And somehow they did a worse job than I did. I know, shocking. But it's good to meet you two.
Hello, Mr. Beaver. It's nice to meet you too.
I've never been called a beaver before. I like
What do
it.
you mean your last name's Beaver?
No, it's a Sky Weaver.
Sky Beaver. That's a weird name.
You know what? I like it. I'll keep it. Sky Beaver. Do you like
where was-
stories, young man?
I literally write them and find them. What's your story?
Nice. I have many. I tell stories of all shapes and sizes, including when I once killed a bear with my bare hands.
So, what you're saying is that you barely got by.
Yes. Hi, Aurora.
Everyone leans in and is like, yes, interesting. Well, anyways, my name is Afrin. I'm with Ellie. So you are the Arthur that we've heard of. Yes.
Indeed.
We've heard of him.
Yes. Now, I myself am a traveling bard that goes along with her, and I would love to see if I could get your assistance on something. A lovely investment. I've told I've asked this to a couple of people now. Would you like to help me with something?
Absolutely. What can I do for you, young lady?
Yes. Well, I have been starting a sort of, not quite a business, not quite, just something interesting to help with our mutual cause. Would you like to provide some financial assistance?
How much do you require?
Oh, well, that depends on how much you have. Anything will do, really.
Is it like a dire need kind of situation? Is it like an extended need? Is it like an emergency need situation? What are we looking at here?
Not quite an emergency, nothing like that, but it is something that I think that it would do quite well for you to assist me with. Just a few gold, really.
I see. Okay,
Depends how
I'll.
much you'd like to.
You know what? I'm gonna be right back. I need to go get my equipment so that I can tell. He stares at Bill. What was your name, young man?
How old are you?
32.
You're barely my senior by 2 years.
What?
What's your name, old man?
My name's Bill. Nice to meet
Young
you.
man.
Yeah,
It is
Bill's
nice
just
to
looking-
meet
Yeah, I'm 30. How old did you think I was, Averin?
I could tell that you are very aged and wise, just from seeing you.
Uh-huh. That what tells me otherwise. To be fair, I did just get free bread, so if you want some, you'll suck up. As Bill just starts walking in the direction Ellie ran. By the way, I don't know where Ellie ran to, but given she was being chased by someone, my guess is it's bad.
Oh yeah.
That's honestly a good assumption.
I love both of y'all just watched her run and be chased, and Avron's just like, oh yeah, this is normal, and Bill's like, oh yeah, we should probably help.
This is probably bad. Ellie doesn't run unless it's bad. That's what Bill has learned up to this point. That's like the only thing Bill's really learned. Is that if Ellie is running, it's probably a bad sign. So he's just gonna casually start walking the direction she went. He's not gonna run. He's walking. He's got bread to eat, so he's just munching on bread as he's walking.
God, I love that. So Arthur is like, I will tell him the story once I get my equipment, and then I will also pay you. Don't worry, I will be sure to fund your expedition. You said you requested this of several people so far?
Yes, yes.
It sounds like you're in some dire need. He turns around and starts walking towards the building. I will be right back. Don't worry. It takes me about 10-15 minutes to don my full armor. Trying to make sure that Ellie doesn't kill Jackson. Or the other way around, really. Or the bar. Make sure the bar doesn't light on fire.
He thinks Jackson would kill me? He's weak.
It's like, don't let the bar light on fire. I'll take out the money that I will be giving you if it does. Just walks off. I assume you head towards the now running Bill, well, walking Bill, and very far ahead Ellie.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Ellie has run directly into the tavern. So, Oliver, you are just kind of chatting with Iron Belly, and Iron Belly is telling you, as you're probably checking up on at least a few people, he's like, now, young Sonny, if you're looking to get into the dwarven mines, and he just, like, downs another drink, there's one thing you need to know. Two things. He, like, starts counting his fingers. 1, 2, 3. Several things you need to know. First thing, always be sure to provide the king with a gift of sorts. No matter what the gift is, it could be money, could be an item, could be something precious. Just, he needs a gift, okay? Call it tax for entering his kingdom. Second thing, you have to meet the king. It's non-disclosable. You have to meet the king. He has various ways of transportation wherever you need to go, but you have to meet the king. And if the king doesn't approve of you, well, he hasn't disapproved of anyone in the last, 100 years, but if he does disapprove of you, well, there are some stories. Now, one story is one in particular that you may see once you come to his, throne area. Now, this is a story that's been passed down for the last 10 years. It's not very old. It's not a very old story. But it's a story that almost all dwarves know. None of them know if it's true or not. Only the king knows. But it's a story he is told. Inside of his throne room, there is a box. A big box. Dwarven-made stone cage. Fully sealed. No one knows what's inside. But the rumors that have been spread around, from the dwarves to the many other races that the dwarves have had some kind of contact with, is that there is a paladin of Paylor, trapped inside of the box. They say that the paladin asked to be inside of the box. Some say the paladin was forced in a box, and some say that the box itself was made for the paladin. No one knows, though. But if you're in there, you must be aware there is that box there. And if you just respect the king, you may be put in the box.
Noted. Maybe this would be a... I have for a while wondered what would happen if you tried to mix a potion with alcohol. I wager that he would probably respect something like that. Maybe this would be a good time to test that. What do you think?
As you're saying that, so the tavern itself is basically just a floor. except for the door. There's a floor and a small door outline, and then the door. So there's no actual walls or a ceiling. So you're talking with the dwarf, and as you're talking about the potion, both the doors just kind of slam open, and you see Ellie just absolutely barrel charge into the tavern, full force, full speed, just flinging herself into there, and at the exact same moment, a very drenched Jackson flies through the now open door that swings open, slams closed, directly on top of Ellie, as he's just like rolling with her, slamming into several chairs, most of which are just hitting shards, hitting her and Ellie, her and Jackson, before just kind of sliding directly in front of you, as Jackson's like, yeah, gotcha.
I let you catch me. We both know this.
Hi, you two. Did something happen?
Oh, hi.
Confused stare.
Well, I might have dunked this cradle robber here.
You are my age. Actually, I think you're older than me. You're somewhere within my age range.
You're older than me
Am I?
by like a year.
Just a confused head tilt. You know, I suppose it doesn't really
Or
matter.
two. Either way.
He like stands up, and he's like still dripping water as he's like, "It's good to see you again, Doctor."
Good to see you again as well.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hey, meet my new friend. This is Iron Gut.
Oh, hi, Iron Gut. Nice to see you again. Why, hello there, young Jackson. How was the water today? Jack's like, don't bring it up. As he like sits down and grabs like an ale and downs. You also see quite a few bruises all over his body.
Do you want me to tend to those?
Yes, please.
Alright. Alright, just give me an arm. I'm digging out my red flask.
He holds out his arm, and you can see it's like freaking black and blue, like all across it. Like every visible point of skin that you can see is just bruised.
Ellie's also going to attempt to help heal him.
Just like as I'm tending to it, just like, holy crap, what'd you do? Punch a golem?
No, not quite. I kind of may or may not be training with Arthur.
Well, he's definitely not exactly going easy on you, that much I can tell.
No, he really isn't. Feel free.
And I believe this also, that didn't roll. Gosh darn it.
I believe
Okay,
you clicked the
so-
healing button and it should roll.
Okay, so that would be 2d8 plus my 4, I believe.
Yep, plus the
Oh.
spellcasting ability modifier. I think there's a healing button right there in the chat too.
There
I
it
don't
is,
know
I'm
if
just
that
trying to
does
double check to make sure that that number is correct, because it doesn't look like it's going to add, because I'm not certain if it's adding that.
Ah. I have no idea.
For the love of God,
Oh,
where the heck
it does
did go?
say 2d8 plus 4 plus bonus. So it
Alright.
looks like it would. There you go. Damn, son.
Alchemist healers.
Fucking hell. Yeah, you heal him top notch. As you're healing him, Averin and Bill slowly walk through the door. Well, Bill slowly walks through the door. Thanks. Aurora just handed me a rainbow bear.
What?
Yeah.
Aurora.
Aurora just handed me a tiny rainbow bear.
That's adorable.
Yeah, I know, right? See? Tiny rainbow bear. Don't worry about the sounds in the background. Anyways, yeah. So you see Bill slowly walking through the doors. Averin, did you run, or were you just keeping pace with the god?
I was keeping pace.
Okay. Let me go lock my door real quick. Hold on just a moment. do 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 do.
I locked it for you.
Okay. Never mind, Ellie got my door. Okay. Yeah, so two of them slowly walk through the door. You see Jackson now sitting on the on a stool, absolutely just dripping water onto the ground as he looks much better now. And Ellie is just kind of attempting to heal him, fix up his wounds. That are no
Oh,
longer.
Greetings.
Well, at the very least, it tells me my new mixture is working a bit better than I was expecting. Always good to hear.
Why exactly were you two running through the town, splashing water everywhere? Water on my coat.
Well, I
Just like
dunked
with-
him in the water and bolted for my life before he snatched me. This cradle robber.
I caught her.
Coulda
I ain't no
drowned me.
cradle robber. You're my age.
I let
Was
you
this a
catch
fr-
me.
Now was
So the
this a?
town's not about to die in a fiery explosion of doom.
Now I don't know who you are. So was this a bantering sort of play fight, or should I kill him?
I would assume it's banter. She told me this is a childhood friend of hers, or at least that's what he told me when we first
well-
came here.
More than friend, but anyway. She
Oh,
mumbled.
is this Jackson?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
And Ellie's gonna grab a drink.
He's uglier than you described.
Oh,
He's like, ow, my heart.
Just look him up and down. It's like a lot more raggedy than I expected.
well, he did just get beat up.
What were you beat up by?
Arthur has a lot of muscle, okay?
Yeah, but he doesn't have a lot of brains.
Yeah, okay, fair, but, you know.
I named it. By the way, why is his last name Sky Beaver?
What? Above game, I don't think he actually ever told me his last name because I don't
He
think I
did not know.
had a conversation with him.
Weaver. With a W.
Yes, Sky Beaver. That's what I said.
Weaver. You're saying beaver.
Yes, that's what you're saying.
Weaver.
Weaver.
Weaver. Sky Weaver.
Sky Beaver.
Like a sky sower. Okay.
Why is there a sky sower? Who's sowing the seed of the world? Why are they planting?
Sky Weaver.
Sky Beaver.
SKYWW.
There are two W's?
There's no two W's.
SKY
SKYWEA. No, there's only one W. EAVER.
R.
I am sober, I promise.
Sky Beaver. I don't understand.
Weaver.
You're saying beaver.
I'm saying Weaver. Ellie's gonna take a drink.
Jackson looks at two of you, he's just like, how many BERs did you say, Ellie?
Far too many.
By the way, I have free bread if anyone wants some.
Nice. Wait, how'd you get the bread?
I might take a slice a little later,
Sure.
but
I am the bread fairy. Do not question me.
wait, what?
How many drinks will it take for you to tell us about the bread fairy?
Shh.
Well, I guess I was going to
I
wind up
am
having
the
to pick
bread
up a
fairy. The
brewer's
bread
kit
fairy
or
doesn't
something
actually
along those
exist. It
lines
just made
anyway.
people happy, and I got bread out of the deal.
Ah.
At any rate, I'm gonna need to stop at the bookstore a little later. Sounds like I'm gonna need to learn how to brew. Well,
Oh.
brew alcohol.
I mean, I could help with you with that. If Jackson lets me.
Well, my new friend here is recommending that I look into some sort of gift to give to the Dwarven King if we're planning to visit down there. And I figured that I figured that something alcoholic would probably be to their taste. Consequently,
Yeah.
I'd been half tempted to try and see what would happen if you tried to mix alcohol with potion makings. And I think this is probably one of the better opportunities. I have a few doses for fire resistance potions.
I love how Avrin doesn't comment on the bookstore. After it's been Ivor's just intent to just let that be how it is.
Some things are better not mentioned.
Some things are better left to be experienced.
Yeah.
But
From what I've experienced with dwarves, they do drink a hefty amount just to be able to even get drunk. So if you can make a strong drink that makes them see things, that works.
whiskey, got it. Hey, what do you think about this iron gut? Do you think a potion in based alcohol or alcoholic potions would be a good idea?
It depends on the kind of potion you're making, sonny boy. What kind of potion you're thinking of adding?
Just like
It'd be really.
I mean, I've got the resources for a health potion or 2 doses of a fire-resistant potion, but I might need to go and look at materials for that.
Do you still have the potion of flying? That could be a fun drink.
That's an elixir. Those have a very short shelf life.
Fair.
Us dwarfs, we like to feel something when we're drinking. We like to drink until either we pass out or we hurt so bad we punch something. That's a great time.
I'm sorry. I think.
Fuck you, say boy!
I feel I'm going to regret asking this, but do you think it's time to get chaotic alchemy into this?
Yeah, boy. Chaos. He looks off into the distance for a second.
I mean, to be fair, if you can make a drink that's so strong that it'll knock anyone out, but isn't, poisonous like alcohol is, you may be able to make a really good business out of it.
If we need a base alcohol to work with, then Averin takes out the alcohol she stole from that one guy back in the other place. I just so happen to have this on hand if anyone needs it.
I mean, I suppose it's a passable start.
Oh yeah, you did steal alcohol from someone, didn't you?
Yeah, the guy. I don't remember his name.
How long have you had that anyway? Just in-game he says that.
Let's just say a while.
Alright then.
Always pays to have, things on hand. Just grab things. Anyways.
Just still digging through his regens. Let's see. Crushed.
I believe you still have that purple flower, wherever that would do.
Crushed unaffected crystal. Spider's venom sac. Couple purple flowers. Huh, I really am gonna have to get chaotic with this stuff.
Stalking. You hear after a few moments the door very gently opening up, and in walks Arthur in his full stature. He has a glorious plate armor on that seems to almost flow like glaciers around him. Very blue, light blue, almost ice blue to be exact. And it almost looks, like I said, glaciers are kind of flowing across his armor. On his shoulders and down his back, he has a massive coat that looks like it's made from actual bear skin. He is also holding a long sword at his side, and on his other hip is a glowing golden mace, and on his back is a spiked wooden shield as he walks in. Hello, friends.
Hello.
Greetings.
What's up, Sky Beaver?
We're getting a lot of new faces here today.
It is good to see you, Doctor.
Pleasure to see you again as well. How's the town been going?
It's going pretty good, honestly. It's very nice to see it slowly growing and becoming what we want to be. I'm actually seeing whether or not people will be starting to spread out a little bit more, so we can enhance the town, of course, making it so it's as safe as possible and as neutral as possible and defended as possible. He sits down next to Averin. Now, little lady, you had said that you were starting a business opportunity, yes?
In a fashion, yes. An
All
investment for our mutual cause.
He reaches in.
no.
He reaches into his to like his coat, and pulls out a bag and places it down in front of you. Since you've asked multiple people so far, I have assumed that you have indeed wished to gain a large business opportunity from great sources, which means that you require some money for it. However, I've decided you really don't need to continue asking people for the money. For if there's a great business opportunity, that means that you must have the money in order to be able to fuel and produce it. So here you are. Kind of pushes the bag towards you.
I look inside the bag.
There's 100 platinum inside the bag.
Everyone shivers.
Ellie is going to slam her head into the table.
That's about half of my wealth that I've developed over the years as an adventurer, and I'm not doing anything with it, so you're more than welcome to it.
Oh, wow.
That is more money than you have seen in your entire lifetime. That is actually more money than most cities you've seen have had from most of the people who have lived there. So if you take the entirety of the Citadel and all the slums' entire wealth probably add up to about 20 platinum.
Oh, wow.
The upper echelon probably equals around 100 platinum. He basically gave you as much money as probably Rowena's father has. Just casually.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know where I'm going to put this. Thank you.
Who knows? But as long as you keep it close to your heart, it will never fade away. Oh, and don't leave your weapons unattended while you are on watch and you fall asleep. Unfortunately, I did lose several hundred gold from that one time, and also my trusty mace here. And then I found them. It was a bunch of rats who stole from me, and I killed each and every single one of them. They also stole my friend's bow. We couldn't have that.
Yeah, it's really bad to have people that trick you and steal things.
Of course, of course.
And sometimes that's half the fun. You see, I had a goblin friend at one point. He was a good man. He's still somewhere around. I just don't know where he is right now. But he's a good man. I know he's still alive because the enchantment on my shield is still working. Helps me keep in touch with him. And he was very oust goblin back when I knew him. And everyone kind of hated him. Except for me, of course. He was a nice fellow. You just gotta get right past his rough exterior to get there. And yeah, he liked to light forests on fire, like the entire forests. He did 2 of them actually. But yeah, I managed to make it work, and it's all about showing them kindness and showing them that a true good path can be achieved if you choose to walk it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Everyone's still staring at the money.
Ellie's gonna refill her drink.
Oh, and also per in perspective for you, Averin, most people, like farmers and most merchants, they make about gold every year. You have a what? 10 gold is 1 platinum. You have 1,000 times what most merchants make in a year.
Yeah.
Funny
Just
you
saying.
say that because I looked that up just now.
Yeah.
How big is this bag?
It's 100 platinum, so it's like probably fist sized.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll just take it, tuck it into the bottom of my bag.
So I hope that your business adventure will come true, and of course be sure to allow my town to keep in your good graces and your good mindset, of course.
Of course. Trust me, you're on my good side now.
I am happy to help in any way I can, and of course, my dear, being able to help people who are up and rising adventurers is always what I seek to choose. This town is a town for adventurers to make better adventurers. I'm always happy to help in any way I can to strengthen you, to better you, to help you practice and learn. And of course, to tell stories as we drink all day and night. He raises a glass to Bill. Is Bill there?
Bill.
Oh, looks like he's muted.
Bill Nye the Science Bird. Bill.
Bill Nye,
I
the
was
Science
doing
Bird.
Bill.
Oh, there he is. Hi.
Yes, I've been here. I just been muted because
Oh, okay.
not talking.
You're
Bill
good.
just slowly nods at him and is munching on bread.
Nice. It's like, so what can I do you for while you're in town? I assume if you're going to the orcs, I guess dwarves first, you shall be on your way here soon, as there's been unfortunate rumors about, well, we're not quite sure what it is yet, but many are saying a dragon in the skies.
Oh.
Yes. Up above the Trail of Bloody Tears, there is a creature that is flying quite high. Now, I haven't seen this very often, as I've only been here for a couple of the wars that have passed through Trail of Bloody Tears. We've been under this cult's presence for the last one, and so I wasn't quite able to see it then. But the tale goes as follows. Every time there's a war inside of the Trail of Bloody Tears, there's a dragon. Some say it's a black dragon, some say it's a gray dragon, but we're not quite sure. But there's a dragon that appears in the sky, above the dangerous folds of the trail. It seeks violence. It feeds on the violence. And that's why it's there. As the war continues on, it gets hungrier and hungrier. It feeds more and more upon the pain, the suffering, and the death of all those under. And as the parties on both sides leave to lick their wounds for the next battle, any who stay on the battlefield are the dragon's prey. We're still not sure how many dragons are up there. Could be a blue dragon, could be a black dragon, could be a gray dragon, could be multiple having a territorial dispute, but we're not quite sure. They seem to know when battles will start, when violence will be amongst the plenty, and they have seeming a sixth sense for when a true disaster will happen. But those are the stories that have come about, but from the thunderstorms that have originated, that is, unfortunately, sounding more true than it is false. So.
Goodness.
Yes.
A dragon.
Yeah.
That's...
Duly noted. I'm pretty sure we'll have to at least be close to the Trail of Bloody Tears coming our next trip.
Wait a sec. Hey, Ellie, remember that weird feathered guy we saw above the Trail of Bloody Tears on the way here? Do you think that's the figure they're talking about?
Despite how tough I am, I wasn't paying that much attention. My eyes were on the ground and my ears were covered at that point because I'm scared of storms.
Well, I saw it.
And it was
Fair
pretty
enough.
stormy.
I
believe Averin saw it.
Yeah. I saw it. And I believe Bill over here saw it.
Everyone else saw it except me.
Bill just slowly munching on his bread.
Yeah. When I saw it, was it more like a dragon or more like a bird?
The very first time that Oliver ever saw a creature over, the Trail of Bloody Tears / Helios, it was definitely a giant bird resembling a rock. The most recent one that y'all saw, which was last episode, was definitely an avian, but you could not tell from the distance if it had feathers or scales. All you could tell was that it was hyper massive. I mean, like 200-foot wingspan kind of massive, just based on relative positioning. So probably more like a dragon. You never heard of a bird that is quite that big. Mm.
Well, seems strange. We should probably avoid it. Seems like it would be dangerous.
I would agree.
And if we got attacked by that, we might lose our money. I mean, us.
His money. I think if we're attacked by whatever that thing was, we have worse things to lose than cash.
No such
Yeah, I
thing.
agree. We kind of have a war to, dissolve. When money can just be regotten or received after the war.
Hmm.
I think personally, family, friends, and continuing to live is a little more important than money. Money's gonna outlive you.
Remember, my dear friends, if you go into most dungeons or most areas around, you can find all kinds of rubies or sapphires or precious gems and trade those in for money, or you just find money on the various corpses of adventurers that have tried to follow into there. That's where I got most of my money from. Went to a lot of caves.
I totally thought Ellie was about to be scolded for being sniped.
Oh. Please. It's like, and don't worry, Ellie. I know exactly how you feel. One of my friends was utterly invigorated by money. Whenever they saw it, they were very upset at me for giving a farmer 2 platinum. I got bacon out of it, so, And I got covered in acid. Not by the farmer, by the NK queen I killed.
Crazy.
Yep. The bacon was a good use. See, if you just help people, they'll help you in the end. He, pats Averin's back, although, considering he's 6'6" and, 300 pounds of muscle, it was not a gentle pat.
He's 7 foot now because of his armor.
Oh, yeah, right, he's 7 foot in his armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a gentle pat.
That little factoid.
It was a very unpleasant pat, and he's like, "Oh, right, sorry, I have my glove on."
No, it's all right.
Everett's like, "This man could kill me, and I would still be okay with it."
He gave me 100 platinum, so.
Well, he might throw you into a river. If you really want training, go to him.
Excuse me? Oh, that's
It's
why
a good training exercise. You throw them in the air directly into a river, and if they land on their feet, you know if they've learned.
Well,
How
I only
does that
soaked.
That's to land on your
that
feet in
they've
the water.
learned?
Well, if they can't tumble through the air, what they're gonna do when the dragon smacks them?
Honestly, fair. I'm mostly soaked because he decided to throw me at Jackson literally for an apology, so.
Is that why he was after you, chasing you when you came in here?
Well, that's because after I was thrown, I decided to dunk him again into the water. So I kind of ran for my life. Not that he could really do anything to me, I'm still more powerful than him.
You all 4 of you see Micah kind of walking up to the edge of the floor of the bar, kind of lifting himself up and just slowly, awkwardly sitting down at the last bar seat away from every other person in the entire bar. Just awkwardly
Micah?
sitting there.
Why are you
Yeah?
so far away?
I don't really do well in social situations. But he kind of left me at the stream.
I'm sorry, I thought I put you back in my backpack.
I don't fit in your backpack.
You did at the Santa place.
My feet were in your, half my body kind of fits in your backpack. I'm half your size.
Well, how about you can sit by me and we can have a drink.
I don't drink alcohol though.
Do you want to munch on some bread?
Sure, I like bread.
I suppose it could also be a good opportunity for me to try and learn how to make mocktails as well. Wager that one of those would would be to her liking.
Bill
Kinda,
would absolutely
slowly,
love more mocktail.
awkwardly walks over to you guys and sits down next to Ellie, next to his giant titan on his other side, and he looks at Bill and he's like, can I have some bread?
Bill just lifts the basket towards him.
Thanks, Bill. He just grabs a piece of bread and just starts munching on it, awkwardly curled up against the bar, like trying to almost hide. And he's like, "I'm eating bread now."
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I just don't do things and don't do good in social situations. Yeah, it's
Still, you seem a little bit more timid than normal.
yeah, I don't like people that much.
I don't know if you'll really enjoy where we're going next. We're going to the dwarves and then orcs.
What are the dwarves like?
Alcoholic.
Yeah, alcoholics.
Strong and stout, very dedicated to their craft. Master craftsmen, they're glorious.
Ah. Are there a lot
Partially
of them?
saying that for, partially saying it that way for Iron Gut behind me, probably.
Iron Gut just kind of laughs, like, whole belly out. And Mike is just like, are there a lot of them?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Don't
Can
worry,
I,
they're not much taller than me.
Oh. Can
If
I,
it's that big of an issue, I do still have the invisibility cream if that's of use.
I mean, do you want me to come with? I can.
I mean, would
I'd
you
be worried for
rather
your
hide away
safety.
somewhere else, or
This place
You
seems
could always-
nice, I think. There's many people here.
You could, yeah, you could be the mascot here.
But there's so many people here.
oh,
True,
actually,
but they'll come and go. But you'll
Oh,
learn
yeah.
to like them.
oh, speaking of the location, hey Arthur, we found a little
Yes?
something on our travels, and I think you might be more inclined to find use in this thing than we will. I just say,
Oh.
pulling out the sentient greatsword.
Oh my god.
Fucking on your back this entire time as you pull it out, that you hear in your head, "Yes! Yes! A warrior!"
Careful,
Are you sure you want
careful.
to hand it to that guy? He seems like an airhead.
Be careful with this one.
No,
but
he
he-
will throw you in the river.
I'm a Kenku. I get momentary flight. Only I win in this moment.
I'd say be gentle with this one, but reasonably speaking, from the sounds of things, he does want to see battle every now and again. And yes, I say he intentionally. You'll understand, and if you touch the handle.
Oh? He like
It's
gently
sent-
grabs the sword from you.
It's sentient.
Ah.
I'm going to let him take it.
You see him stare at the sword for a second. To passerbys, it may look like he's staring at his own reflection, but he's probably having conversation with it, and he's just staring at it for like a good probably minute, maybe 2 minutes, before he just puts it onto his back, across his back, against the cloak. The sword will do me good in passing battles.
Take it, you made an agreement then?
Yes.
Good to hear. Good to
It is
hear that
a warrior's blade, and I am a warrior.
Good to hear that he's finally getting what he's looking for.
Indeed. So,
Hopefully-
speaking of battles, so you're continuing your plan to dismantle the entirety of the war, then?
assuming he can pull it off. Still in the
Yep,
planning segments
That's the
for that.
plan.
Now, I normally am one for hoping for the best and trying against all odds. He looks at Bill. Remind me to tell you the story of when I saved an entire town from an undead horde. And you're facing against ungodly numbers, battles of all shapes and sizes. However, this is a battle that, well, I care about your safety for the most part. I don't know you two very well. He gestures to Bill and Averin, but I still consider you very good friends if you are friends of Ellie. So,
She kidnapped me.
oh. Ellie, why did you kidnap this poor bud?
Well, okay.
I keep phrasing it
Hold
like
on.
like that.
I'm still sober enough to tell this story. If I miss any parts, Ollie can tell you. So, we didn't kidnap. It just the slums weren't. The Citadel as a whole would have probably killed Bill and his buddy Mushrina. That was a goblin. So we scooped them up and kept them with us. That way they wouldn't be killed, because it's a goblin, and the Citadel does not like anyone that's not an elf.
He slowly nods as he puts his hand in. He puts his head on its chin in his gauntlet hand. I see. Have you asked him if he'd like to continue journeying with you?
Ellie's gonna drink.
I mean, we haven't really put in any effort to keep him by our side if he wants to walk off.
To be fair, I wander off regularly.
My point, just gesturing towards him.
Well, given how things have been growing up and recently, I just go with the flow at this point. I'm kind of used to people disappearing on me or leaving.
Well,
That
my
sounds
dear.
like unresolved baggage right there.
Ouch.
Ellie's going to.
You see, you see
She's
Jackson
on
legitimately
mug
like
number
lean
3.
away on that comment, like a verbal punch. And Arthur looks at two of you and he just nods and he gently puts his hand on Ellie's shoulder. My dear, you should ask him if he would like to continue joining your party, if he would like to put himself at death's risk. Now, as you know, if you're in a party with one another, and you head on into great depths, or insanity, or anything of that sort, you must be willing to 100% trust every one of your teammates, regardless of their backstories, their histories, their insanities, or whatever may be going through their brain. You have to put absolute ultimate trust in them in order to make it so you will come out the end survived, as will they. If you are not part of their team, they do not have to do this for you. So you must make connections.
Okay,
He
fine.
doesn't get it, does he?
So, no matter how this war will end, I will sooner have Mrs. Claus rid of you guys from the situation before I let any of you die. That being said, this mission is suicidal in a way. Eventually it will be, because we'll have to face the orcs, and that may or may not go south. Do you guys still want to stick together for that? Because this mission is to end the war. That will save thousands of people, and we can go back to what we were doing before, or we can stick together and just hang out at Mercy. Or do more missions or something. However, that's entirely up to you guys whether you want to stay in this group or not. I would love it if we stick as a group. I've had a wonderful time with you guys, including our previous teammates and my sister, that will hopefully be rejoining us soon. And we can make more memories together. Yes, we have to do this war and be the responsible ones and be responsible for the world, but I would sooner die for you guys than let you guys die. Because you guys have families and the rest of your lives to do. I talked to 2 gods and I have a third one that's hiding inside me, so I could potentially go god mode for all that if it goes to that point. Nonetheless,
There's way
would
too
you
many
like to
jokes
stay
I
for the
could
team?
make there.
Hmm?
There are way too many jokes.
You know what?
Arthur's like, wow.
Mind you, Ellie's on drink number 3 at this point.
Yeah, Arthur just kind of like looks at you for a second. He's just like, remind me to give you some lessons on pep talks. Mine me to,
Yeah.
wow.
I think I need a hug or my drink taken away. I don't know. I'm gonna keep my drink though.
I mean, to be fair, alcohol is the best friend of all lonely people.
I mean, I could probably give you a mutagen.
Ellie's gonna take another drink to that.
I mean, I think I still have a just like digging through things. I think I still have a mutagen of. Or was that? Here we go. Mutagen of Bear's Endurance, if that helps with that alcohol.
To make it stronger or to go faster?
Oh no, it'll probably weaken the effects of the alcohol. And give you a bit more resistance to alcohol. Just looking back at it.
Fine.
Arthur
For
just
the next hour.
Arthur just kind of like slowly pats your head. He's like, I think what she means is you're about to go on to a dangerous and very risky quest that she will do her utmost best to protect and help the rest of you in every degree possible, but is still dangerous and risky, and you will be putting your lives potentially on the line in order to save everyone around you and make sure that they live a happy and comfortable life before you are able to settle down into your own happy and comfortable lives. And she wishes to know, would you like to join her for this event?
I mean, I'm basically already gonna have
you go poison the people in the Citadel, you're kind of screwed, as I'm the only one who has the capability of moving there quickly.
I mean, I already kind of had to go to every province anyway, considering I've got the formula for the treatment for the ongoing infection, and I need to distribute that. So I'd be in all the same areas anyway.
Everyone like hesitates for a moment and then like shrugs. Like, I mean, I have nothing else to live for. Might as well.
Well, that's a depressing. That's a depressing mindset.
Oh my
Hey,
heart!
that's a mood.
Oh, that sentence. Oh my heart! Oh, you just punched me in the soul. I can hear Ellie
Oliver
yelling.
just flat out said that in game. Well, that's a depressing way to put it. That's a depressing mindset.
Oh, I love that, but ow.
Everyone
like
just kind of looks around. It's like, what did I say?
Just like looking through
That's
like all
nothing
his slash
wrong with, like,
crap. None of he's work on crap. None of he's work on
Is there
happiness.
depression freaking post?
What was that?
The
Bill?
best I could. Oh wait, I don't have a. Wait, here we go. The best I got is Eagles. The best I got is a Cognitogen and a Beagle Splendor, but I think that just makes her more charming. I don't think that works on her, well, confidence.
What are you going to say, Bill?
That's a mood. Because Bill doesn't really have anyone to look forward to, so it's like, I can relate.
Everyone just looks at Bill. It's just like, you get me.
We need to find both of you who a long-term goal.
I do have a long-term goal.
Okay, let's hear it.
Bill just blankly stares off at you.
My point. Just
I mean,
towards them again.
I mean, to be fair, I still haven't drunken enough. Or found the strongest drink possible.
But isn't there something you want to do?
I mean, probably.
Wouldn't you want to remember things?
I mean, yes, but that shouldn't be a long-term goal. That should be a short-term goal. Because if it's a long-term goal, that means it's gonna take forever, and that's boring. What if I forget what I forgot, huh?
I mean, I could give you another dose of Cognitogen and a Fox Cunning if that helps.
Look, you can attempt to make me smarter all you want. It's not going to work. We both know this.
Oh no, it doesn't make you smarter. It just makes it easier to focus on memories. Just as vibrating the blue vial in his hands. Or not really vibrating it, just...
Shaking it.
You know, the spin stir sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but What if the memory thing is connected to the weird aura thing you guys talk about?
Then we need to figure out how that's connected, and figure out how to get things to work normally again.
Fair. By the way, how exactly is this place related to us, or you, or whoever?
We killed a goddess that decided to take Jackson away and put him with a happy family he seemed so happy with.
I think she's drunk.
I'll just leave it as it was a. Wait, Arthur, you were here when that happened.
Indeed, I was under the effects of the goddess.
Wait, who just talked previously then? I'm trying to figure that out.
Ellie had said something, and
Ellie.
Arthur had said he was under effects of the goddess.
But what about the comment about you sound drunk, sort of thing?
Oh, that was also Arthur.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what, never mind. Easiest explanation, it was a mind controlling deity that's primary thing was to who of everything, and if anything ever comes into existence, born or not, that doesn't coincide with that, it must be destroyed and it must die. And that includes your own kids.
Yep.
It was messed up.
And then your party saved them. And now to repay you all, well, previous party, but also the two of you now, and every adventurer who comes by, I have developed this town to be a neutral party that its only goal is to seek and help adventurers on their ways.
We burned down a church.
Don't even hang up that fight.
She was injured.
Literally everyone in the room except for me was knocked unconscious, and I still was sore for the rest of the day. I don't even want to know what kind of madness they felt.
It's a good story, if any of you could remember.
Remember? A little bit. It's okay. Okay, see? It's scarred over. And she starts lifting up her shirt.
Jackson immediately from behind you just goes, nope. Just like grabs your hand and puts them behind your back. Nope, and you're done. And you're done. And you're done. I'm gonna dunk her back in the river as he just starts walking away from me.
I'm just going to slowly slip her a crimson in flask as she's doing that. Hey, Sin, I cast enhance ability bull strength.
Oh no.
See, I'm fine.
Oh no. Oh my god, what's that do? Tars advantage on strength checks. Sorry, Ellie, roll me a strength check real quick.
To break the grapple.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
You can roll again, you have an advantage.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, roll me with advantage. There you go. 100%.
She just throws him off.
It's like, what? Okay.
See? I'm fine. Plus, he can't handle me anyways.
By the way, you have that strength for an hour.
She lifts up her shirt again. Arthur, you have her. Alright. Arthur just kind of like smiles as he grabs his own mug and starts to drink it. Alright, well, with the knowledge that you will be defeating this war, as odd as these odds are, as terrifying as this province is, I have faith in you. I've done something similar in my youth, and actually several years ago, and also like several years before that. Regardless, this is a interesting opportunity, but your plan is to go to the dwarves, yes, Doctor?
That is the immediate plan, anyway.
Alright.
Next destination.
So after the dwarves will be the orcs. How do you plan on dealing with the orcs?
We're still working that one out.
He kind of looks at the very drunk Ellie now. Right, he looks at Averin. Do you have any plans on dealing with these dwarves? Sorry, orcs.
The orcs?
Yes. You're attempting to, from what I've gathered, destabilize the entirety of the orcs' army by either convincing them to simply not fight, or taking them out of commission. I assume, based on Ellie's prevalence for non-violent encounters, that she wishes to take them out of the fight, same way I assume you did with the elves.
We plan on meeting with Big Mama and talking to her about orcs, and probably disguising ourselves.
As orcs?
I mean, it wouldn't be the craziest thing I've made 8 flasks for. Just still stirring one of his other potions.
The Elf King is going to be killed quietly. All the while, my sister of greatness is going to take over the army.
And I still need to go
stabilize it.
And I still need to go create a cowpox for that illness.
Interesting. So your plan is to talk with Big Mama, you said? What connection does she have to the orcs?
Go ahead, Doc. It's fine. You were there.
From what she told us, she was formerly a rival of the orc chieftain. In a sense, right now, the only real reason she's currently alive is because the current chieftain has a peace treaty with her. The only problem is, if the orc chieftain dies, pretty much her camp does as well.
Interesting.
She has a neutral town, too.
Could be good for resistance training, then. So your plan is to meet her, the rival of the Bloodtooth, and then convince her to tell you about how orcs act, walk directly into the campground of all the orcs, have a meeting with the orc commander himself, and destabilize the entirety of the orc army?
Yep. Probably gonna talk to Shard to get an idea. She can't lie. No necromancer can.
Oh yeah, and here's a special trick.
Hmm.
I can only keep one of these magical disguises going for an hour. So we have an hour to get all of that done.
Honestly, he gets a very big grin. I've done worse, so I have faith in you.
If you say so.
I killed a fragment of a god at one point. Tried stealing one of my best friends.
Wait, what?
Yeah. The fragment of the god infected a lot of owl creatures, and then those owl creatures started stealing other people and started eating them, and then tried stealing my best friend at one point to turn into the host for this god, and so I had to, get to the god's area with my party at the time, as well as a new friend of ours, and then we kind of broke the fragment of the god, freed my friend, and our new party member died, and I was given this armor because he died with it on him, and he gifted it to me before he died.
I'm sorry to think that just all the gods are just bloodthirsty in their own way at this point.
Only some of them. Bahamut is still a good god. At least, to the best of my knowledge. He doesn't really talk to me. Wonder if he's still up there. That's a good question. I like the way you think.
Believe me, Amber, I've been trying to find a good answer for that for years.
Well, if you like to go to the Dwarven Army, my friend Ironbelly here should be able to lead you there fairly well. It's a little bit of a roundabout way, mostly because you have to avoid the lightning strikes from the sky above. But the dwarves are good people for the most part. Some are not, but, for the most part.
Oh, regardless of what culture you go to, you'll find a mixed bag of personality and morality. And that's just kind of how people go.
Also like how you think. Of course, you are welcome to stay in this village for as long as you'd like. Take your time. We have bedding for you inside of that house. He gestures to one of the very new houses. It's rather small. It only has 4 rooms inside of it, as your party previously was only 4. So should do well for you at the moment. Feel free to stay there. You'll get food and drink as long as you're here. I'm sure with the money I have now given Averin, you are more than on your way to getting any provisions you may need. And we don't have many magical items here, but we do have a couple ones that we found on several of our travels. So whatever you need to gather, you may gather. Whatever you need to get, you may get. And stay here for as long as you like.
Okay, so maybe I should go. I'll run into town and pick up a couple things real quick if I'm gonna make these guys a mocktail. I'm just going to get up and I'm going to go check out the market. I'll be back in a bit. Hit call back as I leave. And you can carry on with these guys as first.
Nice.
So, anyone want to speak first before I do a thing with Ellie?
Is it concerning?
No. She's just still drunk.
Bill has been zoning out this entire conversation. Like, you can see him just, like, nomming on bread, and it's just a vacant stare in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, so Ellie, bless her heart, she's on drink number 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to try to put her hand on her chin and, like, try to be smooth and look at Jackson and it's like, do you come here often? You're such an eye candy.
Kind of like looks back at you.
What's your name?
He looks at Averin. Hey, do you have any like sleep spells?
I have an idea.
Yes, actually.
Don't leave me.
But I'll let Bill go
again.
first.
It's always so sad when people leave me again. And Ellie's gonna start kind of
Do
crying.
you have the sleep spell?
I do have a sleep spell.
No.
I love that. What's your idea, Bill?
Just Bill's gonna look at everyone. We should all use invisibility.
Oh
Bitch. I mean,
That's
it's not hard
horrible,
for Jackson.
and I
He
love
disappears
it.
all the time.
And both you and Afrin do have it.
Yeah.
Arthur looks at
Averin
the
just-
two of you very concerned.
Averin looks at Bill, looks back at Ellie, looks back at Bill, looks back at Ellie. It's just like debating which, like, should she trust the words of Lord and Savior Bill, or like not traumatize Ellie?
Wait, no, I have a better idea. Let's turn him. Ellie,
Yes.
Let's turn what?
If you can't see her, she's not there.
Yeah, but I have so many things I could do with that, though.
What you gonna
Yes,
do,
but-
Averin?
All the while, Ellie is just slowly falling down more and more, and occasionally drinking her drink as she's just dead staring at Jackson.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I should throw you in the river again. That was fun.
That was Arthur who threw me in the river.
I should have him throw you in the river.
I just had idea. So what we do is we turn Jackson invisible, and only Jackson. And then when Ellie asks where he went, we just go, "Who you talking about? There's no one here but us."
That's sad.
Clever. But I think I'm going to cast the sleep spell. Now, what's really funny about the sleep spell is that it's actually an area of effect thing. So, but she's not going to tell anyone that.
Okay. Well,
I
feel
just
free
need to know
to.
how to act for Ellie.
Would you like to do it at 3rd level so you can get for 98?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
Sounds
yeah.
fun.
Roll the
I'm
98.
concerned.
Hold on.
I don't actually know how this
Alright.
works properly, but I'm fairly certain.
Basically, the way that sleep works is that you roll the dice to determine max HP, and you can put to sleep creatures that have that much health, or how should I say this? You deviate, or you divide up the total that you rolled to put people to sleep. I don't even know how to explain this properly. Basically, okay, so from people's max health, you subtract the results of the dice, and if you can make it reach 0, then you can put them to sleep. The excess you can use to put the other people to sleep following similar rules.
Yeah.
These
Sleep
people
has
never take
basically-
any points of damage. They're just... Sorry.
Asleep.
Sleep has a damage die that it uses to basically, if something falls below that damage die, the target falls asleep.
Ah, okay.
When you upcast sleep, the damage die for sleep goes up, and that die isn't damage, but is simply anything that falls below that
Coma?
health pool. If you, like, say you have 2 enemies and they're both at 10 HP.
Uh-huh.
If you rolled a 20 on the sleep die, you can put both enemies to sleep.
Ah.
If someone has 45 HP and you roll a 25, that target is unable to be put to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Would
As
that
you do
work
not
for...
equal or go above the current max HP, the current HP of the target, not the max HP.
Mm.
It's
That
the current
work?
HP that it
That would work.
bases it.
Okay. Well,
No, it's
like-
fine because you don't
have-
actually know her HP.
Yeah, sorry. I don't
good.
mean to interrupt, Oliver, but you're explaining that to where it could be very misconstrued, my man.
I mean, that's fair. As I made the comment, I have not the slightest idea how to explain this spell anyway.
Alright, well, roll your 98 and
It's like, well, I don't exactly know what this will work, but I can certainly try. All right.
you can also
Oh,
hover
not
over
asleep
sleep and
yet.
click the roll.
I think there.
There you go.
Wait,
And then
oh.
you click.
Oh well, that's embarrassing.
Damage.
It's trying to cast on the map. Boop.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And just click
work?
damage.
Damage. Normal. Whee! 45.
45.
It's above my own HP.
Not
Ara
mine.
is 4 points below Ellie's.
Goodness, how much health do you have?
She's 49. You also
49.
rolled below average on 2 of the. If you had rolled those 2 3s as 5s, you would have hit directly on her health bar.
You know the worst part? That wouldn't have put Oliver to sleep either.
Really?
He has 47 HP.
I'd say I did well. You guys are just weird.
Oh wow, that would
I
have put Bill
feel
to sleep.
Fuzzy.
Oh no, that almost
Actually,
put Bill to
46.
sleep. 1 away from Bill.
Yeah, Bill's just.
Is Arthur asleep?
No. You did
Just
put
put
Iron
yourself to
Belly
sleep.
to sleep, but Arthur has, because Arthur's 1 level higher than y'all at the moment. Oh, and Jackson's asleep. He has slightly less health than.
No!
He has slightly less health than Bill does. Arthur has, how much health do you have, my good sir? 60 hit points. Arthur has a lot of hit points. So you see as you cast the spell, Ellie kind of gets a little bit tired. Like she kind of more or less like it's just like, huh, I could feel that. And then Bill, you also can kind of feel it. Doesn't do much. And then Oliver, you also kind of feel it a little bit. Doesn't do much. And you see Iron Belly just fucking head plant the goddamn table, and as same with Jackson, just both dunk.
Sin, I already left the building.
Oh yeah, right. Never mind. You don't feel anything. Yeah, fucking.
I did well. You guys are just weird.
Yeah, Jackson fucking head plants the table. Arthur's just like, huh. I wonder if he had too much drink.
happened?
He got a little sleepy. It's fine. I got this. As Bill just walks over to Jackson and starts dragging him out the building.
Jesus Christ.
Ellie's gonna follow.
You're not gonna pick him up. You're just gonna let
Well, okay, no, okay. I'll try
the
to
moment
pick him
Bill
up.
walks over there and he starts pulling, all you hear is Why is he so
Yeah,
heavy?
Ellie's gonna help pick him up.
I will
Oh,
love.
actually, I don't know if we can.
Actually, yeah. Roll me a dexterity save at disadvantage. I would have loved if Bill was just like pulling him, slapped him against the. Oh.
Oh, that was
Oh,
almost a
gosh.
nat 20 and a 3 next time.
And
Can I
your
help?
drunken. Yeah, you're welcome. Help. Yeah. Roll a dexterity save yourself.
Can I help and also try to like check what Jackson has on him? Just like, should
I
I
will
pick on
stab
this
you.
guy?
Roll
I just want to see what he has on him.
Ellie
roll your
says
dex
no.
save and roll sleight of hand.
Averin
Can I
says
sleight of hand
yes.
her sleight of hand to slap her hand away?
Well, that's just
Yes.
just checks if you know if you see me pickpocketing. I'm pretty sly. Wow.
Well,
Okay, where's
His stuff is
dexterity?
gone. No, it isn't.
Oh,
Alright, yes it is. That's
Okay, wait. What am I rolling again?
Jesus Christ. Okay, so yeah, so you're gonna roll dexterity save yourself.
Dexterity
Avron.
save. Okay. And then
There's
sleight of hand.
disadvantage.
Oh, okay. So that's dexterity, and then roll me sleight of hand, Avron.
Yeah. 18.
Yeah. So Bill can kind of see. I actually don't know what Bill's passive perception is.
not that high, but given Bill's also actively hands-on on this man.
Mm-hmm. You have a
And
really
kinda knows
fucking
how
high
Avron
passive
rolls.
perception. Jesus Christ. Especially with the fact that you're literally hands-on with the man. You do, in fact, see her hand kind of like reach in and start grabbing stuff. You attempt to swat her hand, but you keep just slapping him instead.
Like that.
Why
Yeah.
are you slapping him?
The worst part is the
That
slap.
seems rude.
Pockets.
The worst part is the slap probably would hurt really, really badly, just simply because she's still probably under the effects of bull strength.
Oh, that's
Oh no,
right. I do
it's
have that.
Bill's hands. Oh
It's
yeah,
kinda-
right. You do have advantage on that though. So it. Oh no, wait. That's dexterity.
She has advantage on strength and double carrying capacity.
Mm-hmm. So
Basically, I
you
just
could
turned her
totally
into a
carry
light.
him, but you cannot balance him on you because you are drunk as hell. So you basically pull
Well-
him on top of you, and then Avron grabs from like the back as you're pretty much carrying him, wobbling as Avron is steadying you, and Avron's like reaching into his pockets and across his chest to grab to feel random items. And Bill sees this and
If
tries.
he's on me, she can't touch his chest.
That's fair.
Honey.
However, she can't stick her hand between the two of you because she is, holding him,
basically.
You've got
Anyways.
Bill basically steadying them, Avron checking the chest, Ellie's attempting to carry him all at once. Bill attempts to swap, but it's just basically slapping Ellie or what's his face.
Jackson.
And Avron's just casually like walking in circles, avoiding Bill the entire time, more or less, is what I'm getting at here.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like, stop it. And she's just like, what are you doing?
Who knew
Everyone's
being
like,
2'2" would come in handy? Because I'm probably just slapping the back of Ellie's knee.
everyone's seeing Ellie like trying to like accidentally like slapping Jackson if she is, and it's just like Tisk Gallon. I thought you liked this guy.
He doesn't know that.
He doesn't.
I don't know. He might, but he's asleep. I can't ask.
So on
No, it
him
seems a
you
bit obvious.
find couple bags of probably a couple bags of silver that he just kind of has on him that he probably picked up after he was dunked. His chest and most of his clothes are still pretty wet, so you're just kind of soaking some of your glove as you're just randomly patting him down. You do find a knife on him, the ring that's on his actually I
I
don't
will
know if
kill
he has a
you.
ring on him.
I will kill you. No.
No, he put a
Which
ring on
finger?
you. You haven't
Don't.
given him a ring yet. He put a ring on
He
on
has
you.
the earring
Oh
that we
right.
use as a ring.
Yeah, so he has a weird
I will
earring
literally
thing
kill
on
you.
his finger. And a couple other odds and ends. He has a knife that's inside of a. He has two actually. That's inside of his coat pockets basically. And
I
sheets.
kind of I kind of like gesture to the ring. So, is this yours? Oh. Anyways.
Ellie would sober up so fast. Like, yes.
Yes, that is
It might be
mine.
replaced by my other one that I stole from the museum we went to.
Mm. Nice. We went to a
But
museum.
I don't know. Yeah, you were drunk as me, and we went to the museum at Circadia. Circadia? Circadia.
Circadia.
Yes.
Huh.
Now,
Is that where
I
the gem
need-
came from?
Yes, you stole a gem.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
I need to get this giant lug nut to bed and tie him to the bed.
Everyone just like
Don't
looks up
ask.
to you with
He
like a
usually-
suspicious look. They're just like, I see.
He leaves a lot, so I have to tie him to the bed or tie my hand to his hand. Yeah.
Hey, Ellie.
What?
No with the horny.
Horny? He's asleep. I'm not gonna do anything. I don't even know if he likes me. Why would I do that?
Man, you really are drunk.
Just a little bit. Usually he
Bill's
keeps
thoughts.
me in check. But he's asleep, which means I'm drunk. Usually when I'm drunk, things don't go well.
Arthur is still sitting at the bar and he's just like, do you guys do you want me to carry him? You got it?
Yes!
Oh.
And me too, I think. I think that's what Jackson would want. He's kind of heavy, but I love this freaking dork.
It would be appreciated. He doesn't even have anything good on him.
Yes, he does. He's every little bit of wonderful that's on him.
Not
Arthur-
financially.
Arthur chuckles. He walks over. He just straight up picks up you and him like collectively and bounces the both of you on his bicep. He's like, "All right."
Ellie's gonna spread her arms out. It's like, I'm flying. This is so cool. Is this what it's like, Bill? I'm flying.
I wouldn't know. I'm a kenku. I can't fly.
That game, I'm pretty sure I gave
That's
those to one of
so
those
sad.
at one point.
Did everyone get picked up, or is it just Ellie
Just
and
the
Jackson?
two of them he picked up. He's like, do you two want to fly too? I can pick both of you up too.
No.
Ellie's just quietly just happy, but crying at the same time after Bill's comments.
I don't
Just
like
flapping her
magical.
arms.
Everyone like squints and like shakes her head. Like, nah, I'm good.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so, the town's open to you if you'd like. Anything you wish to do, you're welcome to, as long as it doesn't, start another cult. Kind of difficult
Another.
to deal with them nowadays.
Difficult. Huh.
I do not start cults. I am simply the bread fairy.
I was
Of
hearing you
course you
talking
are.
about that.
Praise the bread fairy. Praise the bread fairy.
Right, I'm gonna put these two to bed and possibly read them a story. Or tell them about how I killed a bear in single bear combat.
Ellie's gonna try to reach over, touch his face, and he's like, I love your stories. You're so great.
It's like dealing with kids
Almost
again.
as much as I love that one. And she'll, like, try to reach to Jackson, but fails.
Y'all see her like bending her entire body like 7 ways from Sunday to point at his unconscious body.
And then she goes back to flapping her arms. I'm sailing.
Y'all should not let her get drunk.
I'm usually the one who drinks, so it's fine.
Anyways, Arthur starts to walk off. Bill and Averin, what you guys gonna be doing for the rest of the day?
Well,
I mean,
I'm going to mindlessly wander about.
Fair enough.
I think I DM. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good.
It's all good.
What are you gonna do, Averin?
Averin's just kind of like following like the like just the whatever the crew is mainly doing, so she'll follow Bill.
Alright. Oliver, you've been wandering around town for the most part. It looks like you're picking up some cranberries, limes, a little bit of salt, possibly some ginger beer as well.
I was just picking up ingredients for a mocktail, considering I figured it would probably be something to raise the spirits of the other 3 and Micah.
Nice.
Considering, since it's non-alcoholic, it means that he can drink it as well.
Mm-hmm. Very nice, very nice. Micah, by the way, is just following Arthur and the two wiggly bodies.
True, but Oliver doesn't know that. Probably is going to go meet them at the bar later. Or go back to the bar, assuming he's going to find them there.
I love that. You walk around for a little bit, go into merchant shops. It's a very nice selection of random assortment of items from different types of plants that grow here, farming materials, as well as different types of food, from seed-based things to bush-based things like berries and stuff. As well as a lot of different materials, probably used for spellcasters. It looks like this place is turning into quite a nice neutral territory for like trading and stuff like that. Kind of reminds you of your old home. So there's quite a bit here that you can search around for and get. Pretty much everything inside the PHB is here as well. Pretty much to get and gather.
Oh crud, I don't actually have any basic adventuring gear on my mind that I could probably be looking for. Though, actually, I take that back. Now the next question is... How much... It does not say... hey, can I talk you into looking up a particular item? I think it was called brewer supplies.
Yes,
find
I think
it.
I know that one. Brewer's Supplies 5e. They are 20 gold pieces.
Okay, I could afford that then. In that case, I will buy a set of brewer supplies.
Nice.
Is it actually just brewer supplies, or
Yeah, it's pretty much
Is
just a
it-
set of brew supplies as well as a
Oh
starting
no, no,
set
no!
of some.
I was just trying to look it up in the.
Oh
in
yeah,
the,
it's called
tour.
brew supplies from what I can see in D&D Beyond's thing.
I just cannot. It just does not want to pop up with this thing.
Yeah, let me share it real quick and.
Oh, here we go. The equipment shop. I'll take a look in here.
There you go.
Brewer supplies. Got it. Yes, I am going to buy that. That didn't. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
There we go. Yep. So you pretty much go around. You can buy some of the brewer supplies as well as they give you like a nice starting bottle of alcohol that you can work with in order to create your own, and essentially stuff like that.
Oh, I just assumed that they just gave me a bottle of like fermenting grapes or some other sort of fruit like that, considering that's how you make alcohol.
Mm-hmm. They also give you like a lot of the other supplies they might need to make your own time mini mobile creation. But yeah, also the bottle of fermenting berries and stuff. They have a lot of different berries based supplies here as well, because it's quite a common thing to purchase.
Think of it. I think you can actually make alcohol out of honey as well.
Mm-hmm. It's called mead. It's a dwarven favorite. Best. So you get quite a bit of those supplies. You probably head on back. You realize, yeah, they're not there anymore.
Just going to look around at the general patrons at the bar right now, and just see if I can find someone that I recognize was here before they left.
Iron Belly is passed out on the table. There's a couple of patrons that you recognize probably were here before he left. The tiefling that you had noticed originally is still here. He looks like he's playing a flute just solidly in the background. There's a couple of other random patrons, but most of them you don't recognize the faces of, as none of them stuck out to you.
Well, crap, I don't want to bother the tiefling because he's busy with his instrument, but I guess he's the only other one here.
Only one that you recognize was definitely here before everyone else was. Everyone else was just a face.
I guess I'll step up to the tiefling then.
Okay. Do you guys remember if I said if it was a male or female tiefling, or did I just say it was a tiefling last episode?
I do not remember.
It would take me a couple minutes to find out.
That's fine. If I did say male, I'm going to retcon that and say it's female now. I'm pretty sure I only said it was a tiefling. But in case I did say it was a male tiefling, I won't retcon that if I did. It is indeed a female tiefling who is playing the flute. And she kind of lowers the flute a little bit as you walk up and says, "Hello there. What can I do you for? Do you have a particular song request in mind?"
Not really at the moment. Sorry to bother you. I was wondering if you... I was at that table there a minute ago with a close group of friends, and I was wondering if you overheard where they were heading.
Ah, yes. Arthur has taken two of them into their area of rest. One of them appears to have fallen asleep randomly, and the other one was drunk out of her mind. And then the little dragon fellow they had with them walked with them. The bird left, I don't know where he was going, and the half-elven lady followed.
Well, I guess they probably would have left some sort of indication as to where to go from here if they were not planning to come back. So I guess I'll just wait. Thank you, and sorry for bothering you. I'm going to slip her 2 silver.
She takes the silver. It is rare that I see another one of my kind in these areas.
Just passing. Hang through mostly. But I suppose it has been in a bit since. Actually, can't really say I've had any direct contact with any other tieflings, to be honest. Where exactly do you hail from, or just out of curiosity?
I hail from the Cataclysm. I was born far to the west, near the frozen tundra wastes.
Oh?
Aye.
Well,
A lot of
what's it like down
my
there?
there's a small caravan of travelers that go there. My parents, one was a tiefling, one was a human, and they travel around those wastes quite often. They are not the most pleasant of folks to be around, but when you're inside of an area like Cataclysm, that's how you survive. We're traders for the most part.
Really? Did you by chance pass through an old town? I think it was a few miles to the east of here called Silver Pass at one point?
I don't think I ever did personally, although my parents almost certainly did. They were traveling all across the wastes.
Did they trade anything specifically, or?
We mostly traded in terms of weapons and tools. And so it was mostly protection uses like swords and pitchforks and other similar ones, and tools to create or find things like hoes, for example. Things that could be used for both defense and gardening. Primarily, we dealt with potion making as well to some degree, protective stuffs for the cold that we had to face. Inside of the middle of Cataclysm is a frozen tundra where the weather gets down to around 20 degrees or less as a constant. It's also equivalently a desert, which means that a lot of monsters tend to roam those lands.
I'll bet. Remember her when I was trekking in there, or about a couple weeks ago? Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I wound up almost getting attacked by a couple plants while trying to gather up materials. Still, nice material to make health potions I found. Maybe we should compare notes a little later.
Maybe.
If that's
It would
alright.
be neat. Trading notes with one of my kind is something I've not done for a very long time.
Besides, it would be nice to get a few insights from another alchemist of some sort.
Mm.
Anyway, sorry again for holding you up. I'll let you get back to your business.
Yes, not a problem. See me anytime.
Will do. And I'm going to return to the table and
Nice.
probably keep an eye on Iron Gut.
Yeah, he is snoring soundly.
One of the worst times to be out of second level slots. Oh well.
So Bill and Averin, you two are just kind of wandering around the town. As Oliver saw, it was mostly a marketplace, mostly a trading post at this point, mostly neutral. There's all kinds of races there here, a couple dragonborns, humans, half-elves, very few elves. I think you see one on your travels. The gnome, Speedy McGo-Fast, inside of the library, as well as a couple other odds and ends of certain races. And you two are just kind of wandering for the most part. It's not that big of a town, but it's easy enough to wander around. Do you guys say anything to each other while you're wandering, or is it just respectful silence?
So where exactly are you heading, my fine feathered friend?
I don't know. I kind of just wander consistently. There's a lot of shiny objects everywhere, and I just want to look at them.
Of course, of course.
Plus, I tend to find things, usually when I wander mindlessly, that are semi-important for some reason, for no good reason, past I'm pretty sure the deities of this existence, the real ones, for some odd reason decide that anytime I wander around, I find something interesting, because otherwise I'd just be kind of wandering aimlessly. So I'm pretty sure I'm wandering aimlessly, and or not aimlessly, depending on the situation that is required via the deities that truly exist. Does any of that make sense?
Of course. Fascinating. Yes.
That, or I'm so bored, and my brain looks for so much stimulation that I end up wandering into situations that could kill me. One or the other.
Just like nodding, just like true and utter respect.
So why are you following me?
Similar reasons as you, I suppose, searching for interesting things. And you happen to run into interesting things. Also because I have honestly nothing better to do.
That's a mood. If I had something better to do, I'd probably be doing it. But given I know no one in this town, I don't really understand who these people are past that they're easily influenceable.
Does seem to be. I honestly expect them to ask more questions when I ask them for things.
Yeah, the fact that you got 100 platinum out of that guy is ridiculous.
I know, right? That's more than I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. And I've seen a lot of money in my lifetime.
I mean, to be fair, I'm a little concerned. Like, if you're handing out that much money, how much money do you think's in his house?
Well, he said that it was half of what he owned, so I'm assuming he had about 200 platinum on him.
Yeah, but that's only money.
We're
not talking shiny objects here.
He has that much money, I'm sure he has a lot of shiny objects.
Want to go find his house and break into it?
Jesus
Yes.
fucking Christ.
Wow. Wow.
I love Bill so much.
Everett grins. Yes, of course.
I'm going to continue wandering aimlessly looking for his house.
I love Bill so much.
You know what's the best part? Bill doesn't actually want to steal anything. He's just really bored and wants to look at shiny objects.
Roll me a survival real quick.
I'm going to help. Do I roll survival as well?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good lord. With your 2 brain cells, well, with Bill's 2 brain cells and your functioning brain combined, you eventually wander around until you find, I mean, it looks like a normal house. It's pretty much one of the only houses around that really only has one room that y'all can see through the window. And you see someone, like, kind of walking past you, and they're like, are you looking for something in particular? And you're like, house?
I'm looking for Sky Beaver's home.
You mean Skyweaver. Arthur Skyweaver. I assume you know him?
Arthur's house. Yeah, Arthur's house is just the building over there. He doesn't really tend to live in most of the places with the rest of us. He tends to prefer to give the bigger areas to those who need them. So he just has a small house over there. He gestures to the 1-bedroom, kind of small hut that's just kind of away, a little bit away from most of the town proper. If you're looking for him, he's probably in there, or he's in the tavern, so.
We just saw him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
Many thanks, though.
Yeah. If you're... Wait, if you just saw him, why are you looking for his house?
Because I need somewhere to sleep.
You know that, yeah, you know, that checks out, yeah. Yeah, alright. Well, have a good night. And he walks away.
You too. All right. I'm starting to doubt whether this fellow has shiny objects on him. He might end up donating them to the poor or something.
Probably, but he still has a bed.
You say that with so much disdain.
Yes, I suppose that is true.
Yeah, he just donates them to the poor. How unfortunate.
Avrin, greedy, Bill, just an idiot. The perfect team of chaos.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so y'all walk up to his house. I mean, the window's kind of slightly open.
I checked the door. He probably doesn't lock his door.
What?
Okay, just because he normally doesn't lock his door means nothing. Damn you, Bill.
Look, Bill may be dumb, but he's not stupid.
Yeah. You check the door and it's not locked. He doesn't lock his house.
I walk
Oh.
in.
I was hoping to have to break through into the window or something.
Why? That means they'll know we're here.
The thrill. It's fun.
Fair enough.
Well, anyways.
I'm going inside.
So as you walk in, you do notice it is kind of modest. There is his bed, of course. It's a fairly simple bed, fairly large, probably to compensate for the fact that he's fucking giant. And around the house, you see random bits and trophies of stuff. One is like a leg of what appears, what is etched under says Ankai Queen. There's a bear head. It's a big fucking bear head, but I mean this thing is massive. It's like the size of Bill's entire torso on the wall, just kind of mounted there. Various other monsters that he's killed, various items that he's had on the wall, things that either say etched under it in memory of or or the name of the monster he's killed or other stuff like that. Nothing particularly shiny in this house, unless you count how seemingly polished some of the tusks are for some of the monsters out on the walls. And there's like a bag of money that's just kind of in like on a desk. It's not necessarily in plain sight, but it's not really hidden either. Looks like he took it out to get the money for Avron.
I'm going to his kitchen and I'm raiding his pantry.
You head into his...
Everyone looks at the money for a moment and then just like shrugs and goes to follow Bill. No, she already took 100 platinum from the guy. You know, she knows that there's something, called overkill.
Only from one. You walk into the kitchen, and Bill, you see what can only be described as a glorious sight. There is one thing this man does not skimp out on, and it's food. There's a lot of different types of food in here. There's a lot of different meats of various varieties, lots of different berries. Some are being dry hanged, some are pretty much cooked and possibly for dinner. There's some raw meat that looks like he's about to be probably going to be hanging up here soon to dry age it, or to turn to jerky kind of near one edge of the room. And there's definitely lots of different types of vegetables and fruits that he has in one corner. It's just a lot of food inside of his kitchen. And it smells pretty damn good.
So, Avron, you just see Bill like walk in there and go, "This is where the shinies were."
Avron nods sagely.
As Bill just gets on his bag, takes a bunch of berries, and he starts making jam.
Ooh.
Oh.
You just spend the next like 10 minutes watching him like make jam, just sitting on the kitchen floor.
No, I'm not on the floor. I'm standing on my bag at his counter. I'm not an animal now. I'm a kenku. There's a difference. I have semi-sentience. I'm at least somewhat intelligent.
Fair enough. You're making jam on his counter in his kitchen for like 10 minutes. Everyone's just watching.
Yeah. Well, everyone's gonna like see if there's like anything like particularly interest her. Yeah, everyone likes food as well. She's stolen many a bread.
Fair. There's a lot of jerky. It looks like he makes a crap ton of jerky. There's probably at least like 10 pounds of jerky just kind of like fully done that he probably uses for a lot of his rations and stuff. But it's just a solid like pounds of turkey. There's a lot of bread as well in that kitchen as well. A lot of different like preserved items that he probably takes with him for long missions and stuff like that. A lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits.
She just like delicately samples and some such. Like she lived like in the slums, right? I can't
Mhm.
imagine that they had like particularly good food there, or at least not
No,
much
in
of
the
it that she could get
slums,
her
you're
hands
used
on.
to stuff tasting more or less like we're used to tasting garbage. You've gotten very, very used to a refined garbage plat. So, tasting his food, even a little bit of his food, because he doesn't skimp out on food, because if you skimp out on food, it makes you weaker. Because bad food leads to bad nutrition, means you can't exercise as much, and so on and so forth. You need good food and heaping quantities of it to maintain the lifestyle such as his. So he does. And when you're eating that much food, it needs to taste good. Or you're gonna
Goodness.
hate it. So when you taste it, it's pretty much the same as if we just scarfed down a bucket of the nectar of the gods. Your mouth immediately fills with like saliva from just the pure potent goodness that is radiating your mouth from just the solid chunk of beef jerky that you're just slowly chewing.
Man. She is savoring this stuff. Just-
Mind you, you're savoring this while staring at 10 pounds of it in front of you.
Yeah, it's like she doesn't get a lot of this stuff. She's not gonna like just take it in stride, you know. She doesn't
I
know
mean,
when she's gonna get a
fair.
chance like this again.
That is a very fair point.
Yeah, and she like gets carried away after a bit, you know. Though, you know, just like, oh my
Dude,
goodness.
the shit that Bill is making would throw your soul for a loop. You've never had fresh fruit in your entire life.
He's just sitting there making jam, and you just start hearing the sizzling as he found a pan and probably cut up a piece of meat and is cooking the meat. He's just doing this like he's using his bag like a ball and is just rolling it to move across the kitchen.
I love that so much.
He's 2'2". This counter's probably taller than him. His bag is bigger than he is. Therefore,
Yeah.
he takes probably 2 feet if he stands on his bag, being 4 foot roughly. He
Mhm.
may not be very tall, but he's making do. He's
Yeah.
making himself a jam and meat sandwich.
You're smelling heaven. Heaven on earth is flowing through your nostrils as he's cooking this meat up. Little fire, putting the pan on top, sizzling the meat. It is. You have never in your life experienced something that has been this degree of amazing.
She just takes it, just like hesitates, practically freezes. And she just like stares at what Bill is cooking. Just stares quietly.
As a couple minutes go by, you can really feel the stare building up against.
Have you never had a sandwich before?
No,
Oh.
I live in the slums. I
I
don't
live
think
in the middle of the woods.
they had fruit there.
Yeah, but you had to pick it all yourself, and half the time you're fighting the baboons for it.
In the slums, you have to fight people for it.
Honestly, baboons are scarier.
Fair. Can I have some of that?
Well, they would be scary if they weren't adorable. And, or, you know, trying to eat each other. Or rip each other's... Never mind.
Can I have some of that?
I mean, sure. It's not like I'm not making plenty. As Bill pulls out the 2, like, things of jam he's made.
Thank you.
To be fair, I'm leaving a bottle here as payment for the food.
Hmm.
I love Bill so much.
Why? Why do you love him?
Just every time you do something that is so unbelievably insane, but you're still like, yeah, no, I'll leave some for him.
Look, I'm chaotic good, not chaotic dick, okay? That means I do
Jesus.
chaotic things, but I still have a good mentality towards it.
Yeah.
So you eventually finish up making the meat. And you put it into a nice little sandwich. It's some very nice bread. Honestly, it's like some really high quality bread that's in his house as well, and high quality
I'm not
fruit.
using his bread. I'm using my bread.
Oh,
I can use his bread though, but I'm gonna use my bread because my bread will go bad faster because I'm not gonna be in the town all my life.
true. Your bread also, shockingly, is higher quality than his.
You get when you're the bread fairy.
Yeah, you were indeed the bread fairy. That dwarf did not skimp out on your bread. He respected your bread fairiness, and you like look at his bread for a second. You look at yours. Your bread's nicer, but also go bad faster.
Yeah, as I just
So-
make two. I make 2 jam and meat sandwiches and just hand one to Averin. I just put like a jar of jam on the counter for the guy.
Everyone like sits up on an open spot on the counter and just like really sheepishly looks at the sandwich. Like
It
have
is
you ever
something you've never smelled anything like that. You've smelled rotting bodies. You've smelled disastrous gas. You've smelled mushroom being cooked. You've smelled rotten berries, and you've smelled everything under the sun that you would call bad. But this is one of the first things you've ever smelled that has hit you with a wave of gloriousness.
Yeah. She's just like really sheepishly looking at this because not only is this the best thing she's ever smelled, but it's also just a nonchalantly given open gift of goodwill. She
You
does
say
not know how to.
goodwill. It's Bill. There's no will behind it. There's purely just food. The only will he has is he was making himself a sandwich and he felt guilty that he wasn't making someone else a sandwich that was right next to him staring at it.
Yeah. Well, to Averin, this is just like a gift of just niceness. And obviously a 3000 IQ play, but still.
Fucking still on that he is God train.
Just
Possibly
see Bill,
more
like-
so now.
Yeah, you just see like the blank stare on Bill's face as he just slowly munches on it.
Yeah. So everyone just stares at it for a moment and then just like takes a bite. It's just like she has like practically died here.
Legitimately taking a single bite makes you feel like you just went to heaven. In fact,
Everyone's
this
thirsty.
may legitimately be worth everything you've done up to this point. This single bite of the sandwich may be worth all of the trouble that you've ever gone through in your entire life. Maybe worth the war.
Yeah. Everyone just like takes a moment and looks away and like practically starts crying. She does not know how to process. Thank you.
Why are you thanking me? It's a sandwich.
That's just it. I've never had a sandwich before.
And I've never had friends before. We all get new experiences.
Yeah. Fair, I suppose.
Yes, Bill he's just casually eating the sandwich. Like there's no like look of like anything on his face. It's just the blank stare of the Kenku that has 2 brain cells.
A man you would die for.
Yeah, I think Averin would.
She's just like, I would die for you now, you super intelligent god bird.
Meanwhile, Bill's brain is just, and you do it again. Hello, goodbye. What's that? Looks like, oh no, it's another bear again. Don't kill Mr. Pineapple, no!
What?
And that's just Bill's brain right now.
Oh, I love that so much. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed Averin experiencing true peace, harmony, love, and kindness from a single sandwich. Eleonora finally getting to have some sleep for the first time in who knows how long, while drunk and on top of the sleeping body of her boyfriend, and Oliver kind of being concerned over a dwarf that
Well,
he
when you
doesn't
put
know
it that
how
way.
passed out. Was awake one moment, now is snoring. Oliver, you have no idea how
Just
he
a
fell asleep, but he's asleep.
Just a drool puddle. It's fine. We'll deal with it
Yeah.
in the morning.
Eventually.
I just imagine him just like sitting behind him, just like rubbing his back or something like that.
You're just like, it's okay, buddy.
I was just like, the best I could really do otherwise is just give him medicine of some sort, but I don't have spell slots to cast Lesser Restoration right now,
Yeah.
and that's the only assumption that for what I
Technically,
might have.
Ellie
That he knocked
could
himself.
heal.
True, but it's like he's in a bar, so his ongoing assumption immediately is probably that he KO'd himself with his own alcohol.
That's a good assumption to make with a dwarf. But if you guys enjoyed this episode, feel free to hit that follow button. Go follow our many socials that we have linked right here. If I can type properly, there we go. Including our Google Sites, which has our current schedule planned out, which is going to be weekly. So if you guys want to see what we're up to every week, what times we're up to do it every single week, go check that out. And pop on next week at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. PST in order to see our next adventure as y'all start heading up to the Dwarven Mines, where there may or may not be a paladin inside of the palace throne room of the Dwarven King. Bye!
Ferris Lee.
Bye bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.